You know, for as long as I can remember, this game was hit with so much negativity from the reveal, from the cover, everything. Everybody just seems to just attack this game left and right. You know, it just seems like they can't please everybody. But nonetheless, we're going to go over, everything, especially these projected sales, supposedly based on the pre-orders, because the pre-orders for this game are surprisingly low for a Battlefield game. So definitely, we're going to talk about that. For those of you that are new, welcome to the channel. My name is Ryan, the Professional. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video and the videos that are on this channel. Without further ado, let's start this video. Let's get started. Alright, so let's definitely get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into these sales and everything, and let's definitely talk about Battlefield 5, because a lot of people, again, really are hating on this game. The game looks gorgeous, you know what I'm saying? It looks great. The gameplay, everything. I don't understand why people were hating on it, but we're going to talk about it. Now, the possible reasons why the pre-orders are low. Let's just knock the few things out the way, okay? Could it be because people are really upset because there is a female on the cover of the game or female-led protagonist? If it is, I mean, guys, there's been female-led protagonists in plenty of games. Going back as far as the 90s, there's been plenty. You know, this is not nothing new. And for those that would say you're being forced, you're not really being forced. It really is up to you to buy it or not. You're not being forced to accept anything. You know, just look at how many developers are taking a chance on female characters. The Assassin's Creed series is doing it as well. You got female lead characters in the Assassin's Creed. You got the you got The Last of Us. You got Gears. I mean, there's plenty of games that are taking a chance on female-led protagonists. And really, I don't think anybody should really be upset about who you're playing as. The main thing you should be worried about is the thing called the joy of play. Is the game worth your $60? Is it worth your investment? That's what you guys should be worried about. So if it really is because of a female-led protagonist, again, I don't really see the big deal, guys. I really don't. Some people might go, well, we're being forced to play as this character. We don't want to play as a female. Well, I mean, every particular developer at one point wants to try something new. You know what I'm saying? And there is an old saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Play it first. If you're really a big, diehard Battlefield fan, at least give it a chance first. And ironically, I know I sound like a COD fanboy when I say that. And no, I'm not a fanboy of neither one. I don't play Battlefield, nor do I play Call of Duty. But I'm just saying, you might want to give it a chance first before you blow it out the water and say it's trash. Just saying, especially if you're a diehard Battlefield fan. Something tells me they might have something good for you. Just saying. But that could be a possibility right there. Another possibility, Battlefield 5 won't have vehicle customization at launch. Now, could that be a contributing factor? I doubt it. I doubt that would be a contributing factor. I really doubt. So, that narrows it down. Oh, wait, no, there's one more thing about the game. There is a Battle Royale mode that was shown in the Gamescom trailer. Now, again, or teased, really, in the trailer. Now, Battle Royale is obviously the new hot thing on the market right now. Everybody wants to incorporate this in their games. Call of Duty completely scrapped the single player, campaign just for their own Battle Royale mode, and a lot of people are really overhyping that. I don't trust Activision. And again, yes, I should wait before I say this, but this is Activision. I'm just going off of Activision's track record, and I think that's more than fair. Just going off their track record and the amount of quality that they supposedly call quality, I don't trust them to give you a true quality experience with a Battle Royale mode. I just don't see it. Just look at how many apologists who call themselves like YouTubers who are who only post nothing but Call of Duty content. Look at how many, you can tell the fake ones from the real ones. The fake ones are the ones you see making multiple videos saying, my final thoughts. Okay, these are my updated thoughts on the game. You know what I'm saying? Those people are bots. And they just accept the money and they lie to you 24/7. The other ones, they'll make one video. They tell you it's bad, and they'll move on. They'll probably still play it because obviously they get paid to advertise it. But still, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things like that going on in the COD community. And I don't trust them, again, to have a quality experience. And the reason why is because their fan base simply does not demand better. And they always accept anything that they scrape from the barrel and they call innovation. That's pretty much the fan base in a nutshell. So could it be the Battle Royale mode? Again, I don't think it's the Battle Royale mode. So that obviously leads us to the very last thing on the checklist here. And that's what we're going to talk about right here. Now, one particular thing a lot of these people who are wishing doom and gloom for Battlefield 5 are leaving out. For October, there are a lot of heavy hitters for October. A lot of games are coming out. And again, these guys sadly are not talking about these said games. Now, funny how a lot of these games are coming out in October, yet there's plenty of room in September. But I wonder why a lot of these developers decide to skip September. Could it be because of a certain, I don't know, superhero and the fact that this game is going to be massive? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe they're afraid of the hype train. Maybe they are. But they decided to go with October. So for October, the top 3 games so far in terms of pre-orders goes as follows. And I'm going to go by actual release. Well, actually, no. I'm just going to go by pre-orders, and I'm going to go show you the release dates. So the first one, the number 1 so far, is Call of Duty Black Ops 4 from Activision. This game comes out on October 12th, okay? October 12th, this game releases. You have Red Dead Redemption 2, which comes out on the 26th. And, of course, you have Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which comes out on the 5th. These are 3 massive hitters for October. Massive hitters. And as you can see, a lot of people will probably have trouble deciding which game they want to play. And one thing I noticed that's typical with the first-person shooter genre, whichever game, especially if you have 2 to choose from, whichever game comes out the earliest usually ends up being the one they pre-order first to get their hands on first. So, again, Call of Duty comes out on the 12th, and you have Battlefield 5 coming out on the 19th. Maybe that could be a factor. But there's a lot of games coming out in October. Does this really mean that the franchise has really reached an all-time low? Does this mean that EA is is at the end of their ropes? Again, I don't think they're at the end of the ropes. And yes, I did hear about they lost one of their developers after he was offered $20 million to stay with the company he left. Again, I don't think this marks the end for anything. What I think this marks is, I just think this is the point where something is either. The problem I can probably see with Battlefield, and the same thing can be said about a COD, the same thing can be said about really any franchise that has more than 3 installments, like a Gears or whatever. Maybe people are burnt out. Maybe people are burned out. You look at Battlefield 5, yes, there's a lot more carnage, there's a lot more chaos on the battlefield, but again, they're not really changing much aside from a female on the character or on the actual box art and whatnot. Not really changing as much. It's pretty much still the same kind of experience, but they have improved a few things. When you look at Call of Duty Black Ops 4, again, you saw me slander this earlier. I'm not really a big fan of this, but they are doing something different. Maybe that's what's making people buy Black Ops 4 over the whole Battlefield 5 thing. Maybe people want something different. Maybe people are burnt out of the formula, and it's not anything new. It happens. People get burnt out of anything. You can play the same game for years and years upon years, and you'll definitely get burnt out eventually. It doesn't matter how many friends you got who play it. Pretty soon there's going to be that day when you're like, I played this with them last week, the day before, the day after. You know what? I'm tired. And you want to play something else. That could very well be the main factor. But is this doom and gloom for Battlefield 5? I think it's safe to say that we should wait until we make that final judgment. Wait till the release date and actually see the game in terms of sales. See how it actually does. And see the Metacritic scores and then say everything. Only then can you really say it's a failure. I can't rank anything a failure based off of no pre-orders. For example, look, do you have actually no, I can't say that because it is on there, but there were some games out here this gen that weren't really on the pre-orders top list, and then they end up selling really, really well. Look at Alien Isolation, for an example. So there's plenty of games out there. But as far as, this franchise, reaching an all-time low and possibly being done, I just don't see it. I really don't see it. That's me being, legit fair, and I'm being fair on everybody's account, for the COD fans, to the Battlefield fans, et cetera, et cetera. But if I really was to make it a big prediction, the main force that's stopping the pre-orders has got to be Red Dead Redemption 2. It's got to be. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a massive release. And of course, Call of Duty is just Call of Duty. It's always going to be a massive release, regardless of how many installments they're on. That's a massive release. You know, the excitement's always there. So that's pretty much it for in terms of my impressions on the situation. Okay? So, if you guys liked today's video, again, sorry for the late upload. Had a few things I had to take care of, but I do appreciate you guys checking it out. If you did like it, definitely hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Definitely hit the subscribe button if you are new, and hit that bell icon to stay up to date with everything that's on the channel. Thank you guys so much again. I will see you guys later on tomorrow for another video here on YouTube.com. You guys be blessed. Later.